All right, there's a lot of ransomware instances recently, so I just want to run through a demonstration in terms of how CipherTrust platform can protect you against a ransomware attack to your data. All right, so this let me first log into my machine. So this is a Windows machine that I have downloaded this ransomware simulator itself. Right, so basically I will just run through a check in terms of how many attacks will be effective or vulnerable based on my current server setting. So while it's set up, where it's run, this will run for a minute or two. I just want to show you, basically I'm running as an administrator, right, on the machine. So it's a lot of scenario, basically the ransomware or the attackers actually get to admin access. And you can see the flash of those Windows virus detection. The default Windows Defender itself actually had detected the simulation itself and has been trying to block some of those access. Right, so it will just run continue for a minute, show effective or vulnerable. Actually, most of the attacks are vulnerable. Right, almost finished. Yeah, so that's finished. You can see that basically out of the 23 scenario of different simulation of the ransomware attacks itself, 20 of them are actually effective or vulnerable, right? So the machine is in a quite high risk for ransomware attacks in such scenarios. And only 2 of them has been blocked, and that's the situation without the CipherTrust data protection. So now I go back to my CipherTrust manager as usual. I will use this transparent encryption, but it's a protection policy. So I would just need to enable the protection in this case. Basically, protecting against this test file folder. And just a quick run through of what this policy looks like. So basically, this is CipherTrust Transparent Encryption is a capability that will provide of the additional encryption and key management and separation of duty capability to protect the data access on your classified or sensitive information. Right. So in this case, basically, you can see there's a policy rules I apply here. Again, basically, I can be very fine-grained in terms of allow the file read to change the file attribute. But if there's any access to the actual data, so this rule will allow the WordPack to perform all the actions in terms of apply key and access of the data itself. So which means this particular application is whitelisted. And I can also control some applications such as Notepad+ to have the access, but without the apply key, which means without the decryption capability. And all the other feature, all the other process will kind of be denied by default. Right. So with that, basically, we can just go to this particular client. And then we can do a scan, what we call the attack simulation again. Right. So again, this will take some time. Similarly, around 1+ minutes. 1 point against the data. Right. So the result has come back. So you can see basically we have blocked most of the scenario in terms of 21 of these attack scenario itself. There are 2 scenarios which we do not block. We did not block, right? So the first one is about the rig simulator, right? So this one is basically a mining, the cryptocurrency mining kind of the scenario of attack itself. So this one is not actually accessing or stealing the data. So that's why basically this is still vulnerable. Yeah. So CipherTrust Manager will protect you against the data threat of itself, but will not be protecting against the system resource usage, such as CPU and memory in this scenario. So you still need to apply your usual protection mechanism against that. The second attack is also not block, it's basically the word lock variant, right? So this is actually mainly on what do you call attacking your Windows registry. So in that case, basically, it's also something that not blocked by the CipherTrust manager on this particular folder. All right, so that's basically, you can see the effectiveness of this ransomware, what do you call this CipherTrust manager in terms of protect you against such risk. And then lastly, I want to show you basically in the fine-grained access control we can do on such folders or data itself. Right, so firstly, basically we can run the authorized applications, which is like the WordPad itself. I can use the authorized applications to go to that particular folders which is protected. Right, so this is a folder that I protect, and you can see basically I can browse the folder, I can start a file, I can edit, update. Right, so everything can, for the authorized user, all the access is very smooth. But basically, if you are accessing the data with different applications which is not authorized, you will see depending on the setup itself, but depending on the policy, basically you could see the encrypted data. So in this case, Notepad+, if I try to edit or open the files itself, I only see encrypted. Trying to, even as administrator, if I try to copy the data, I'm trying to get it out to my own folder. Basically, you can see the permission is not allowed, right? So yeah, it's being denied. And again, the last thing I want to show is basically when all these actions are from these users trying to attempt to access the data will be audited. And that's where basically this SIEM administrator will receive alert on this type of attempt, right? So you can see the Notepad is trying to write files. Fresh. Right, so you can see the last action that I have been working on here is trying to copy the file, right? So the Explorer is trying to read the file, the access has been rejected. So this can be generating an alert to the administrator and then take actions on this ransomware attack itself, right? So it has the details in terms of which process is trying to access at what time and which particular Windows or machine is being attacked. Right, so I think that's all I want to cover in this simple demo. Right, so again, I think there's some questions about the what CipherTrust Manager can help you in the ransomware scenario. So definitely, we are not replacing your firewalls or replacing your antivirus solution itself, but we are very effectively can help the customer, the client, to protect, to set up the additional shield or protection against your sensitive data, your customer information, business critical data itself, and with strong access control, separation duty in terms of key management, as well as centralized audit and alert. And that's going to be a very effective technique to protect yourself from ransomware loss, especially these days with all this double extortion technique. Thank you.